So thank you. So thank you all for joining with the getting started with Salesforce Einstein. So I'm really happy about your Salesforce enthusiasm because even that it's a Friday and it's a Friday evening, it's more unlikely that someone would join technical session in a time like this. So and also I hope you're enjoying your refreshments. So let me get started. We will be talking about Salesforce Einstein. And yeah, allow me to introduce myself first. So I'm Hasitha. I'm working here as a software engineer at CMS, and I have been working with Salesforce for some time. Uh, yeah, so let's have a look at today's agenda. Initially, before we dive into Einstein and some of its features, let's have a look at its brief history and then about what is Salesforce Einstein and then what are the technologies used there and also Einstein Platform 1 and also how Einstein is going to help and also there will be some demos with Einstein Search and also the Copilot. Yeah. So in 2014, Salesforce acquired one of the startup companies, which is related like you. So it was a strategic acquisition. So what Salesforce wanted to do was they wanted to start uh, with Einstein, artificial intelligence. So they acquired this company, and 2 years later, they launched Salesforce Einstein product. So after that, yeah. So here's the thing. When they are launching Einstein, they had only predictive capabilities. So nothing with generative AI, nothing like ChatGPT. So then came ChatGPT. So when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, Salesforce also wanted to do the same. And so that's we are today here. So that's a brief history. I hope you got an idea. So yeah. So Salesforce Einstein is an integrated with the CRM of Salesforce at the moment. So it's just the definition, but you can just keep in your mind that it's a collection of AI technologies. So if you really think about it, since it's a collection of technologies, it uses almost these technologies like machine learning, predictive analytics, natural language processing, and generative AI, also computer vision. So yeah. When we're talking about Salesforce Einstein, we did have a talk about Einstein One platform. So in previous session, Vidya mentioned about data cloud. You can see in this diagram, we have data cloud and also Einstein trust layer with Einstein. And also other CRM apps like service and sales, marketing, and all those things. Yeah. So Salesforce, this Einstein platform one, Salesforce says that it unifies all these things. Like you can see, it has CRM applications, data cloud, and Einstein. So if you look at this picture there on the right side, you can see the Salesforce apps and the data cloud all are connected to Einstein with Einstein trust layer. So just keep this in your mind a little bit because we will talk about the Einstein trust layer and how it works in detail a little bit later. So if we really think about how Salesforce Einstein is going to help us in its CRM, have a look at this one. For Salesforce users, as I even showed you previously, it has all these Einstein for sales, service, and Einstein search, performance, and marketing features. So, and also for admins and developers, it has prediction builders, next best action, Einstein language, and Einstein vision, and also analytics and discovery. Okay. Hold on, there's a small technical issue, I guess. So if we just talk about one or two of its features, give me a minute. Let me bring this diagram from here. Yeah, thank you. So assume it is like Salesforce Einstein for marketing. So with marketing, it provides you several insights with if your users have interact your emails or if they are opening your messages and notifications. And if we have a look at the sales or services, that also gives you insights about if you had a conversation with someone, it will provide what are the important key points there and what is the next best thing to do. Also, it can further provide information like if you have a customer, what will it will provide insights like what will the products that the customer will buy next, or will he buy it at all? So things like that. And you probably know about these admins and dev features as well, but let's talk about them as a little bit. Yeah, these actually are features discussed. I have just provided some further information on them. Uh, so here we have Einstein Vision and Prediction Builder and Einstein Search and Discovery and Next Best Action. So among these features, we will be doing a small demo and also we'll discuss further about Einstein Search later. So yeah, let's go on to the next one actually. So remember I told you when we discussed previously, I mentioned that we will be discussing about the Einstein trust layer. So it is actually natural that when even we are using ChatGPT and we are worried about our privacy and our data, what will happen to it. So that's a concern everybody has. So indeed, it was a concern for Salesforce executives as well. So when they are implementing Einstein, one of their top priorities was about how they protect it. Yeah. So here we have Einstein trust layer. And if you check that top, we have CRM applications and then we have prompt. So this is where you enter something. You know, prompt is a piece of text. It could be just one or two words, or else it could be like complex instructions. So what we do in here when the prompt is given, then what Einstein translate this is it does the secure data retrieval. So you know you have data in data cloud or maybe in Salesforce log. So it retrieves that data, whatever necessary. And we have next the dynamic grounding. So dynamic grounding is something like this. Assume you want to update a record or multiple records and you ask your prompt to do it. Maybe you have something else configured, maybe a flow and with the profile. So what happens is that Einstein trust layer also needs other records as well. If not, it will have no idea about whatever context you are talking about. So what dynamic grounding does is it gives you the context or information. And next we have data masking. So this is where Salesforce does it's hiding of your P2 information like any information that can identify you individually. And then we the zero retention. Actually, what that means is Salesforce does not hold your data, and any other third-party large language models do not hold your data, and they do not use your data to train any other large language models as well. So next, you generate whatever you need, and then we have toxicity derivation. So this toxicity derivation is nice to have, and it's also important because assume whatever the output you get, it is biased to someone, so to someone or a group of someone, a group of people. So with toxicity detection, you identify it, and then next we have the audit trail. So what audit trail does is assume you get some output at the end. Now you have the prompt which you entered and also the output, and some of these details are saved below for the improvements of this Einstein class layer. And then, yeah. So this is the steps we just discussed actually. Um, yeah. So as I mentioned, let's go a little bit into Einstein search. So I'm sure all of you have used global search in Salesforce. Um, so what you can do with Einstein search is that you can give superpowers to your global search. Mm, So how is that? As you can see, with Einstein search, you can search with natural language. So natural language, I think since you can use the words you use in day-to-day conversations, and also it gives you personalized results. So how it does is depending on your activities. So assume you are visiting some of the records much more, and it will automatically recommend those things, suggest those records, and so on. And this also depends on the location and the ownership of records, etc. And yeah, so as you can see, I have provided some examples that some of the prompts you can use as natural language search. Um, so let's dive into a demo. So this is a Salesforce dev work with Einstein enabled. And with this dev I can do some of the stuff that's mentioned in the trailheads and within its Salesforce release notes, which is capabilities of Salesforce Einstein. Now, before you use Salesforce Einstein search, you have to enable it. So you got to go to the setup. Just give it a minute. Yeah. This one has something quite sure. So in here you have to enable this. After you enable it, let me show this to you. So I'm sure you have used the global search to usually search its record IDs and stuff. So let's say I want to get some of the opportunities. Yeah, so as you can see, it's already giving me some of the suggestions. Let's see if I have any opportunities that will be closed today. Well, seems there are not any. And yeah, something else I wanted to show you was when I did the search, if you check it out in here, it shows opportunities object and also from my prompt which I used, opportunities closed today, it has also set the close date as today. So as you can see, with the capabilities of Einstein search, it has identified it. So let's do another one. Okay, so let's have a look at any records that I can find actually. these are the prompts that I have already tried and I'm showing. Yeah. So as you can see in here, this Einstein search, and that's how it works. So we still have to discuss about Copilot and all. So let's move on to the next section of our presentation. So Salesforce recently also introduced Einstein One Studio. So with Einstein One Studio, you get some low-code platforms like Copilot Builder, Prompt Builder, and also the Model Builder. And from all these, I have selected Copilot Builder to discuss today. So first, let's see what is Copilot. So with Einstein Copilot, it's actually customizable, also in generative AI, conversational generative AI actually, because it can make conversation with you, like you're having a conversation with someone else. Assume you are a user who's using Salesforce, and if you are a user, this is how you see Einstein Copilot. It's a sidebar for you. And you can engage with it and you can have conversations with it. But if you're an admin or Salesforce developer, you will get to interact with prompt builders, Copilot builders, and also the model builder. Uh, so have you ever wondered what Salesforce Copilot can do? Well, there are two types of activities Salesforce Copilot can do. Some of them are standard ones. So standard actions, those comes from Salesforce. Um, And there are other actions. So those are custom actions, and we can create those custom actions. So first, let's discuss about the standard Copilot actions. Yeah. So with standard Copilot, you can answer questions with knowledge. Assume you have knowledge articles and one have done the configurations. It will answer your configurations. Maybe you want to know about you're in the printing business and you want to know some about how to repair it, and you have a knowledge article and you can request information. And also you can query records by its name or its ID, and further you can also aggregate these results. Like if you want to know how many opportunities are there in your or by your name or any other condition, it can also provide you count for this. And yeah, as it's in there, you can summarize records, and all these things are standard functionalities. You don't have to do anything, you can just use it. So however, these are the custom Copilot actions. So let's assume you have a flow, you have some Apex code that you want to use. With standard, you cannot do it, but with custom actions, you can implement it. So let's look at one of the business scenarios. Yeah. So this is our scenario. We have a scenario where we want to automate order returns with Einstein Copilot and one of the Salesforce flow. Um, so assume that our organization has a flow, and this flow does it changes the status of the order. And let's see, yeah, as so further, so I have mentioned, we'll be integrating this with custom Salesforce flow into Einstein Copilot and enabling to update the return status field into initiated, which means we have started the return process for this order. So now let me get back to my Salesforce org and show you how it is done. So when you are doing this, your first step is to enable Salesforce Einstein in your org, and then you also have to enable the Copilot in your org, and then you need to create a custom action for this. So as you can see here, I have enabled Salesforce Einstein Copilot, and once you enable it, it will appear below. See why this is visible. Okay. So this will show up once you enable it, and this is your Einstein Copilot. And if you remember, I previously mentioned about having standard actions and also custom actions. So these are the standard actions available. And other than that, you just have the system message. And what is the system message? So this is the message that you get when you say hi to your Copilot. And further, you can change language. And currently it supports only English. And you can change tone of it. So let's open this in Builder. Yeah. So this is where you do any assigning of custom actions, or you want to test any standard action, you can try it from here. So these like you can also try some debugging, and also you can deactivate. So remember that when you are assigning a custom action to the Salesforce profile, you deactivate it, you assign your custom action, then you activate it again. So I have already created a Salesforce, Einstein Copilot action. Let me get it to you. So among all these actions, this one I have created, and all the other ones, they are the standard ones. So as I said, to draft or revise sales email, this standard action exists for query records or query records aggregate results. For all or summarized records, you already have them. So let's go into this one. Also, you can see the button here for new Copilot action, and this is where I created my Copilot action. Yeah. So let's go into this. So in here, I have provided some information that is useful for this action, so it can use. If you check, it says populate this input with an order record ID. So this action will take the order ID as the input, and as the return, it will provide this bit blurry, but it just says that this output indicates the status of the return request, whether it is being initiated or processed or complete. So from this, it will get the input as the order record ID, and as the return, it will give you a text that the process has been initiated or something similar. But I'll show you. Further, if you check below, it's a bit blurry, but you can also set it as required, or further you can mark it. Remember, we talked about this when we were discussing about the trust layer. Mm, yeah, now let me show you how this works. So first, let's go to my orders. Well, there's two of them. So yeah, let's use this one. As you can see here, this order is not in return status, and as a matter of fact, it has no return status. So nothing has happened, but let's say we want to return this and we want to initiate the process. So if you look below, above, just next to the add favorite, we have our Einstein Copilot. So as I mentioned previously, it's only a side panel for the users. Yeah. So this is some stuff I already tried out. As you can see in here, I have summarized the account for edge communication, and let me show it to you how it just looks. So I just asked the Copilot to tell me about account edge communications. So it usually takes around many types. But it's stationary. Yeah. So this summary that it has generated for us. And so let me show you how we work with our flow on this. So I will just type a prompt here in order to get the order with most recent start date. Yeah, so the Copilot told me that he's identified it, and I had to ask which one is it, and it's the one with order number to the, yeah, with 100. So now we are going to start the return process for this, and let me type another prompt for that. So first, let me navigate into one of them. Yeah, so it gives me the message the return process has begun. Uh, Now let me see if the status has been changed. So currently there's no return status, and I'm going to refresh the page. Yeah, and the status has been changed to initiated. So that was done by a flow, and it happened because of our conversational prompts we provided. Okay. So I know this is very high level, but we can do it in more detail, but it takes more time actually. But if you want to know any information after the session, I'm available and you can look into it. So yeah, that covers our business scenario. And one more thing. So do not forget to assign your users the Einstein Copilot permission set. So as you can see, you have the permission sets for admin and user. Unless you assign these permission sets, you will not be able to activate the Salesforce Einstein Copilot. And that brings us to the end of this presentation. Before we end it, one interesting fact. Salesforce actually paid $20 million for the license of having Einstein. So actually, this happened like a decade ago. So it seems they have paid quite a lot of amount. Interesting, right? Um, yeah. So that's all actually. And if you have any questions, now it is time to ask.